What's happening, everybody? Boy Big Brando, and today I wanted to talk to you guys about thinking outside the box when you're trying to get business for your business. Now, a lot of people have been hitting me up. They're starting to get their Cameo 4s in, their Cameo Pluses in the mail, and they're getting their heat presses ready. They have all the equipment. Now the question is, how do I gain business? So when you ordered all your equipment, most of us think t-shirts. That's the first thing that we're gonna get into is I need to make t-shirts. I have all the equipment to make t-shirts. How do I start getting this business? A lot of us have the idea in our head on how we're gonna do this. We wanna set out to get these ideas that I have in my head out to the public and get things rolling. A lot of times it's hard to get the business in when you're first starting out. That's just the reality of things. So the way to make that a little bit easier for yourself, and I do this myself also, is thinking outside of the box. So everybody makes t-shirts, right? We all have access to vinyl cutters, heat presses. The Craft Pro and the Cameo are two perfect combinations on how to get going in this business without breaking a big budget. You think that the playing field is scattered with way too many people doing this, but if you think outside of the box, you'll be able to get way more business a lot quicker than the rest of them. So when I say that, I mean everybody's thinking about starting their own brand, doing custom shirts. We have the abilities to do that with the equipment we have, but how do we get out here and start doing this? Well, when it comes to t-shirts, the easy way to go about doing things is actually going out and finding who needs the t-shirts, right? So a lot of us automatically think, all right, I'm gonna be making custom shirts for people that go to Disneyland, custom shirts for people whose birthdays are coming up or first birthdays or whatever it is, and that's cool. But if you went out to your actual community and just walked around, maybe you go take your car to get an oil change from your local mechanic, your mechanic can benefit off of t-shirts. If you get your hair cut at somebody's barbershop, that barber can benefit off of your t-shirts. This is who you should be selling your services to when you're just getting started. The reason being is because you want to be able to just get work in-house, so that way you could create your workflow and figure out your process and what works and what doesn't work. A lot of times when we set up our workstation where we put our press here, we put our vinyl cutter here, we're hanging the vinyl up on the wall, a lot of times that kind of stuff, it sounds good in our head, like, all right, if I have my press here and my cutter right here and I put my laptop right in the middle, I could operate and this is gonna be a smooth workflow. But when you actually start working, that's when you're like, hey, it doesn't make sense to have my laptop here, it's getting in the way. It doesn't make sense to have my vinyl cutter over here, I should be putting it here, and you bought these cool little racks to hang up your vinyl and it looks pretty, but it doesn't make any sense to have it way over here when you just need it accessible just to grab and go. So when you're working your workflow through, figuring out what works for you and what doesn't is what you want to get into a good habit of. So getting the business from your local, like let's say the local plumber, or maybe you live next to somebody that's a plumber, or maybe one of your friends is a plumber. You could be like, hey, I could create decals for your truck, I could make some work shirts for you, let's work together on this. Now you're getting business from people that you didn't even know that you would be doing because you're just thinking of doing Disney shirts and all this other stuff. For myself, it's easy to go to a mechanic or maybe somebody that drives a tow truck or something, because they could benefit off of decals and t-shirts. So what you're doing is you're selling your services to somebody that offers services to the masses also. So it could be anybody from, like, let's say a construction company, right? You could do maybe 12 shirts for the crew and that could double into 24 shirts, and then next thing you know, you're doing 48 shirts a month for these people. Same exact thing goes for maybe one of your buddies is a car detailer. He has a mobile detail business and you could create shirts with his logo and his information on the back. You sell them on that, and then also be like, hey, you know what? I could create some vinyl decals for your truck or your trailer or your van, whatever they operate out of. Now the car detail guy has shirts for him and his crew. You also can make shirts for his customers and be like, hey, so-and-so washed my car, this is the shirt, now they're walking billboards. If you could sell this to the customer, it makes it better for you to sell your services to them. But this works for everybody. I'm talking about maybe somebody has a photography business, maybe they shoot weddings. It'll be cool to have something that said like their name, photography business, with their phone number or Instagram handle, whatever it is. As long as you could sell this service to them, they'll be golden, you know what I mean? And think outside the box, man. It It could be a carpet cleaning service. It could be somebody that just installs floors. Maybe they do carpet cleaning and somebody else installs carpet and hardwood floor. These are potential customers for you. They don't know that they need your services right away, but when you bring it to their attention, since you're offering your services to somebody that offers their services, they'll understand the trickle down how that works. Now, this strategy right here doesn't just necessarily work for t-shirts. So if you don't have a heat press, but you just got vinyl cutter, and you could have a Cricut, you could have a Cameo, you could have a Graphtec rolling, whatever it is, as long as you could cut vinyl, there is business out there for you. So if you're just getting started with decal vinyl and you want to like make stickers for cars, you all see like the little ones that people put on the back window of the family and all that stuff, that's cool. But if you think outside the box of what people could use decal vinyl for, that way you could sell your service to them also. So a good way to do it is who can benefit off of decal vinyl, right? So a lot of guys that are into, let's say, bicycles, mountain biking, BMX, whatever it is, those guys could use new decals, right? So maybe they want to change the name of their bike, maybe they want to change the color of their decals already on there. You create that for them. Take the measurements, design it up, cut it out, and you're good to go. I do this personally. I do this now to this day. It's an easy way for me to make some extra money is just by creating BMX decals for guys that have cool bikes. Now, we talked a little bit about tow trucks and big rigs and stuff like that. You all see when you drive up next to a big rig, a lot of times you'll see like it'll say the state and have all these crazy numbers and it'll have a big list of them. You could create that for them. You could put the name of their big rig on there, like if it's called the Big Joe or something, create a Big Joe decal for them to put on the windows, on their doors, all of that stuff. Now, one thing that a lot of people think just because they have a Cameo or a Cricut, it's not going to work for them, but you could do store hours on business windows. A lot of times they might have it posted on like a little it's like a little chart that they handwrite it on. You could sell them on, hey, I could create this for you, stick it on your door, stick it on your front window so it'll be displayed nicely, put your logo in there. Now you're thinking outside of just car window decals. Now, another thing is when you're doing decals, right, who can benefit from this? What else can you do? You could always do this for mechanics. So now you're making a mechanic his t-shirts. You could look inside his garage and see that, hey, your toolbox could be labeled. You can make stuff that says like screwdrivers. You could make stuff that says metric wrenches, sockets, whatever it is. And now they have little decals they could put on each single drawer. Now there's no guesswork, and you have to be able to sell this service. This is what I'm talking about with thinking outside the box. When you think outside the box, in order to get the customer, you have to go to the customer and sell the service to them. Now, I consulted with a brand, this is a few months ago, and they were having a little bit of difficulty trying to ramp up business with their decal business. They didn't do t-shirts, all they did was decals. Making small adjustments like saying, here are, decals for Hydro Flask. These are decal stickers for your new cooler or ice chest or whatever it is. When you do stuff like this, you're doing it for a specific audience, right? Because you have to think like a customer. The customer is gonna Google search custom decals for my Hydro Flask. When you add all those words up for the search, that's when it's gonna come up. So if something very specific can be done for Hydro Flask, Yetis, Arctics, or whatever, all those water bottles can benefit from decals of just customizing and making it their own. So think about that. Hopefully that could help somebody out. But when you are trying to do this stuff and when you are trying to, let's say, grow the business or even just gain some business, minor tweaks like this by thinking outside of just, I'm only gonna do t-shirts, I'm only gonna do decals for car windows. It could be something like your laptop. Like, this is my laptop right here. Look at all the decals on there, all the stickers that I have on here. You could just say, here's decals for your MacBook Pro. Here's decals for your HP laptop. Stuff like that is gonna be able to come up in the search because the consumer is searching that stuff. They're not just searching decals. They're searching decals for something, right? You be that void and think outside the box, and hopefully this will help some people out. I know some of the brands that I consult with, we make these minor changes and it makes their business go from, doing maybe 10 decals a week to doing like 120 decals a week because of making small minor adjustments like this. And this is all part of marketing. This is all part of bringing brand awareness to your business. And this is all part of thinking outside the box on who could benefit from your services. Hope this video helps you guys out. If it does, make sure you leave it in the comments below. If you're already doing something like this, keep the conversation rolling in the comments. Or you can follow me on Instagram, Big Brando TV. I go back and forth with everybody on there also. All right, catch you guys on the next one, man. Yeah.